How the heck are you, everybody? I am Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. We are getting right into it. No time for an intro. I have to leave in a few minutes to babysit my friend's kid. I'm taking him to the pool. Let's go. It's 100 degrees in Utah. So, this update is crazy. This August update should be very exciting for anyone that loves improvements to the game and absolutely loves content. Before we do get into that, though, I want to cut to the chase on these ancient summoning crystal shards. That's likely the reason some of you clicked on this video, so let's show you instantaneously. When I first saw this, I thought it was too good to be true, and what I thought it was, yes, that was too good to be true. I was thinking, just by participating in the event I'm going to show you right now, you got 20 ancient summoning crystals. That is not true. You can win up to 10 crystals, which is insane. However, just by participating, you are guaranteed 20 shards. That may not seem like much. That's 2/3 of an ancient summoning crystal. That being said, that's extremely valuable. You guys love getting 200 diamonds or one rare summoning crystal. I would say 66% of an ancient summoning crystal is infinitely more valuable than that stuff. Maybe not infinitely, but like 5 times more valuable. Like, I would buy a full ancient summoning crystal with diamonds for like 800 diamonds or something. You know, for me, it's worth maybe 880. To me, it's worth like 10 rare summoning crystals. So how do you get there? It's kind of clunky to find. You can check server news on the official War Discord. I also, on my Discord, the Fast and the Fastidious, I posted a link right here. You can see it was at 8:22 a.m. today, my time. So that was about 4 hours ago, just over 4 hours ago. This will take you right to the official Discord, and you'll see it's this thing over here, #anniversary sharing. You can also go to channel roles and search for that directly. Just click it, and it's as simple as this. Share your UID. That is this thing over here. You know, you exit, you click on your avatar, you click copy paste, share your UID, and then give any visual image of your progress. So you can see, I don't know where mine was. Yeah, there you go. I just shared like my best records in the different dungeons. Some people are sharing these screenshots from the anniversary videos. Literally, they'll accept anything. And the base rewards are 20 fragments or 20 shards of an ancient summoning crystal, so 66%. It's a lot better than nothing. And again, if we go back, the rewards, if you win, they will pick 10 lucky winners. You can win up to 10 full crystals, then second place gets 5, fourth and fifth place 2, and finally 6th through 10th get 1. You know, it's not the craziest rewards ever, but it's actually really, really good. Alrighty, folks, let's get right into it. So this actually dropped yesterday, and some people already covered it. However, I knew from some of the notes we were getting on Forerunner and things I was seeing from the developers that there would be more information coming, and that arrived today. So we will go over this. However, I want to do it second because this update announcement, and by the way, we're in Systems Notice. You can find this just on your notice page in-game. This kind of has the nitty-gritty, and to me, it has some of the most exciting stuff. So this is an update. They're calling it the August update. I mean, it's literally coming when? July 15th. To me, that's not very August. Let's see, is there's an exact date here? Yes, July 15th, that evening. So basically, when you wake up on Tuesday, depending on where you live, you will have this update live, and it's coming with crazy stuff. You'll see, and here's the key thing. This is why I waited. So introducing Void Rift Epilogue, that's amazing, but we already knew that. The second thing, enhancements to the Lord skills of the Watchguard, that was left out of the other thing, and I wanted to cover that in detail. Laya is getting an enormous buff, which in turn will buff the whole Watchguard faction, if you're lucky enough to have Laya. And also, Ein is getting a buff too. It's not obviously as potent as Laya's, but he should also help make Watchguards more valuable. Watchguards, let's be honest, are the worst faction in the game. Many other optimizations, improved stages and drops. Let's get into it. So the Void Rift, we'll talk more about this explicitly when we get into the pictures, but we're getting 3 new bosses, like mini bosses in the Void Rift. It's like a whole new rotation, essentially. So we have those normal rotations, the one that goes Araka into Crimson Star into Torador, and then we have the one that goes into whatever you call that first thing with those big fat marchy guys, and then the spooky floaty guys that have light armor. The second phase is going to be the one with Ludwig, and the third phase is going to be the dreaded for many Lasir phase. This is like a whole new thing. We're getting 3 new bosses just like that. This epilogue should be a lot of fun, and I'm hoping the rewards are really, really good. You can see things like ancient summoning crystals, gleaming meteorite, all the good stuff we love. The key thing is you need to have defeated hard difficulty. Cool thing is you don't have to have defeated nightmare yet, so that makes it a lot more accessible to a lot of players, but obviously not yet immediately accessible to everyone. It's something to work towards. The key thing here, hero adjustments. They are enhancing the Lord skills of both Laya, the legendary Watcher Lord, end of Ein, the Epic Watcherlord. I gotta zoom out for a second. We know Ingrid, aka Debbie, the ancient exclusive Watcherlord, should be coming in the nearish future. She already was a contender alongside Paredes for the best hero in the game based on what we knew of her kit. With this buff to the Lord skill for Watchers, she's only going to get stronger. This first thing highlighted, and we'll go straight to that, she will benefit from directly. Let's talk about Laya. So this is going to be the legendary thing. This first part up here, this first line, is typical of every legendary lord in the game. And then here we've got the basic effect, which also Ein will have. This is the signature thing of the Watchers, just hers is more powerful. Periodically increases damage and healing bonus by 50%. Before it was only 30%, 20% more, 2/3 more, 166% multiplier on what it was previously. That is really good. The healing's gonna be super strong, and then most importantly to all of us, because we love dealing damage, the damage boost is so significant. This will scale the more faction allies there are on the team, the more frequently it will take effect, so it can be faster than every 20 seconds, or no, it will last 20 seconds, but the periodic moments when it does get triggered, that can happen more frequently. This is something that's really been slept on, and with good reason, because not many people are gonna run a 5-man Watcher team, but you know, with the introduction of Lucius and some other heroes we know are coming, it's pretty exciting. You could see now with these improved Lord skills, maybe Watchguard can happen. Clearly, they are trying to make it happen. Now this last line, this is going to be Laya specific, so this will be different than whatever Ingrid, aka Debbie, has. When any faction team member is healed, their damage will increase by 25% for 10 seconds. This easily could overlap with the periodic increases to Watchers. So you could see a Watcher unit, a DPS unit, let's say a Lucius, getting a 75% boost for 10 seconds if these two things line up perfectly. It will be additive. That is really good. Those are the key changes. You can see before that was only 15%, now it's up to 25%, and then the big periodic thing was 30%, now it's up to 50%. If we look at Ein over here, his thing, he doesn't have that last line because he's not a legendary lord, but his key thing, the periodic increase, before was at 20, now it goes up to 30, which is equal to Laya before this buff. So he's as good, at least on that skill, as Laya was previously. He's a far worse hero than Laya. Laya's going to really become meta, you know, even if you're running her and one other Watcher now. I think she already, as a hero, not even as a lord, was pretty darn great. These two things are really exciting. Very quickly now with Admiral Claw, let me know if you guys understand what the heck is going on here. So you can see, he pulls one enemy within attack range. This is from his Soul Lasher ability, and he's going to deal 150% damage and inflict stun for 1/3 of a second. That is not long. However, you think, wow, the duration of stun for phase 1 in Guild Boss 2 doesn't actually matter, so if he can trigger this a lot, he could be a good CC candidate for dealing with that Death Axe, Death Saw phase of Guild Boss 2 of Semra. So hopefully this can happen a lot. But then he's got this interesting thing that is going to happen with his ultimate. This is Bloodstorm Annihilator, increasing his attack by 20%, but also increasing the attack interval. That remains the same. But Soul Lasher will now remove stun. So is it going to be like if you want to ult, you got to wait till you're done with that stun phase and you cycle in and out of that? I don't know, man. It seems weird. Maybe in practice we can find out it works really good. All in all, I think it's fine. And now for you giant whales or super lucky people out there, congratulations. Carnelian, one of the absolute best endgame units in the game, just got better. Her A5 is completely ridiculous. It basically gives a chance for the soul essence she keeps dropping on people that makes them unkillable. When it is used, it gives it a chance to instantly be renewed and not expire. And for certain content, like Semra, for example, this wasn't triggering, and it was as if the A5 wasn't there. They have patched that now with this update that's coming. Kinda huge. Now some Demon Soldier stuff, let's go pretty quick. In Gear Aid 1, you are able from 120 to get shards of this Demon Captain guy, the Scale Kin Champion. He's like as rare a Demon Soldier as you can get. Previously it was just 21, now it's 19 through 21, so 119, 120, 121, and they all have an increased drop rate. That's really strong. In Drake's Chasm Daily, you can now obtain more of the Demon Captain shards, so that's going to be from Maw. He drops super duper infrequently. I will actually show you very quickly. Sorry for the little tangent, but you have to understand how infrequently Maw drops. So I obviously got Maw when I got 50k, and since he came out, I was already farming max. I've gotten 12 drops ever. So we're talking, I don't know, what is that, 8 months, 9 months, I've gotten 12 drops ever, and you need 40 for the next level up. So that's crazy. So hopefully they increase that a lot. On to number 4, they added a feature so you can switch directly between demon soldiers. That's just kind of a quality of life thing, seems fine. Balance some BP, great. Fix an issue with movement speed. So little bug fixes, little issues being resolved, making things run smoother and more appropriately. And then number 7, fixing an issue where demon soldiers sometimes could not be deployed in auto fights. All right, good stuff. The gear, this is pretty exciting. So they're changing one of the variant gear special effects. Previously there was one called On the House, and it basically was like no gold is required when enhancing this gear. It's kind of cool, but when you get later on in the game, you will have tens of millions of gold. I know people with hundreds of millions of gold. This is not such a cool effect. It is nice that it costs nothing, but it's not such a great benefit. Now, on top of that effect, which will remain, it also is going to increase damage by 2%. It's not much, but it's certainly something. We will take it. Now, number 2, adjusted the chance of inappropriate variant gear special effects appearing on gear pieces from different gear sets. This is huge. The amount of account takeovers I do, and someone has like an amazing piece, and it has great substats, and I see that it's variant, and I get excited. It's like a DPS piece, and I see that the special effect is +8 heal effect. That's an L. That's very upsetting. So they're going to make that happen more infrequently, and more often it's actually going to synergize the variant effect with the substats and the set that it is on. They give an example here. Defense focus effects will rarely appear on gear pieces from attack focused gear sets. You gotta wonder, rarely appear. Couldn't they make it never appear? Is that too greedy? I don't know. For 4 now, for the following mythic gear sets, their icon now includes an indication of gear tier. So basically the newest sets that were added to the game, they're considering those tier 3. For the left side, that was Light's Grace and Wicked Vengeance. And for the right side, it was Tempered Will, Hell's Lament, Unshaken Will, and Morale. This is the stuff that drops from the gear dungeons, Gear 8.4, Gear 8.5, and you can also get from the Forge materials. Then our previous, best gear in the game, the red and yellow stuff that drops from 19, 20, and 21, Immortal Warrior, Warlord, Infernal Roar, Soulbound Arcana, Invigoration, Ageless Wrath. They're going to call that tier 2. And then everything else is tier 1. One thing that I think is kind of funny is like the really bad gear that you never use that isn't even available, I think after like stage 13 and some of the gear raids, that's also considered tier 1. They don't even list that here. Interesting to me. But from what I've seen on test server, these, very much forgotten gear sets, because you really outgrow them quickly. Iron Fortress, Savage Strike, Vitality, that stuff that you get total beginner gear, that stuff is also considered tier 1. To me, that's weird. All right, on to number 5, the stages. So in the 2 gear dungeons, 1 and 2, or what I like to call Gear 8.4 and Gear 8.5, currently you have stage 1 through 6. Now they're adding more kind of stages in between, bringing the max stage to 10. And you can see certain previous stages just are renamed, and then kind of in between stages are added. So it goes stage 1 and stage 2, those remain the same. Then you get a new stage 3 that's going to be in between the previous stage 2 and stage 3. Stage 3 previously now becomes stage 4. You get an in-between between the previous stage 3 and 4 that's going to be called stage 5. The previous stage 4 becomes stage 6. The previous stage 5 becomes stage 7. Now in between the old stage 5 and the old stage 6, you're getting a stage 8. And then our hardest difficulty currently that we have is going to be replaced, no longer stage 6, it's stage 9, and we actually are going to get a brand new hardest difficulty in the game for these gear dungeons for Gear 8.4 and Gear 8.5. That is going to be called stage 10. I think that's pretty darn cool, and they are going to come with improved drops, they're saying. That's really nice. You can see for Gear Dungeon 2, aka Gear 8.5, it's exactly the same. A key thing, guys, they're saying here, after the update, commanders who have unlocked Gear Dungeon by the time of the update, you'll receive 10 Master Keys. If you've already cleared the higher level stages before the update, that means you've already used these keys over here. You get those keys, I think it's every 40 days for the Gear Dungeons. You see I have 21 days left. Maybe it's every 30 days. Maybe it's once a month. That would make sense. You see you get 100 if you don't use them. Nothing happens. If you get it down to 0 after those 30 days, it's back to 100, or in 21 days, it'll go back to 100. If you haven't used them yet, do not use them until after the update. You might be able to push one incremental higher, and certainly if you're like me and you're farming endgame stage 6 on both of them, no reason not to wait and go to stage 10, because stage 6 will now be stage 9, no longer the hardest. Go clear the hardest. Quickly, with my own personal housekeeping, a couple people have already inquired to me about takeovers for Gear 8.4 and Gear 8.5 with the new increased stages. There's a lot more stages, and if you don't know the way I do that, I don't charge per stage. I charge a flat rate for a max push as far as I can bring your account in that piece of content for Gear 8.4 and Gear 8.5, aka Gear Dungeon 1 and Gear Dungeon 2. For now, that will remain the same price. All details can be found on my Discord, the Fast and the Fastidious. The link again is in the description. For the time being, the prices will remain fixed. You know, theoretically for someone, if they've got a great account and they're stuck, I could end up doing 10 stages for one flat rate. It is what it is. If eventually I feel overwhelmed, potentially the price will go up, but I don't see that happening in the near future. So for the couple people that asked me about that, there's a little aside. Maybe that gives you peace of mind. We're almost done with the nitty gritty here, and then we can go on to the pretty pictures. What else is there? They've adjusted the drop rates in promotion raids. Basically, Extreme 1 and Extreme 2 now guarantee in Extreme 1, you're always going to get a rare insignia, the blue ones. And you're always going to get an epic, the purple ones, aka Insignia 1 and 2. On top of that, you have a boosted chance to get mythic and legendary extract. This is fine. Personally, for more endgame players, it's definitely appreciated that you can get farm Extreme 1 specifically for those purple ones, so that will kind of be lost. But I think it's fairly a wash, and this is going to help people with progression a ton. That is the same for Extreme 2. This guarantees you a drop of both Insignia 1, 2, and 3, so that's blue, purple, and gold, aka rare, epic, and legendary. However, the rates are slightly lower. I have seen though, if you don't get the chance to drop the mythic extract or legendary extract, it can go as high as 10 of each, which right now the max you can get from stage 15, which is where all of us do our gold insignia farming currently, is 10. It's like 7 to 10. Now it's going to be 5 to 10, but you still can get the 10, and you'll pick up some extracts, which later on you don't really care about, but it's still nice, and you'll be getting some epic and rare along the way. It's not that bad, and for people that aren't late game and end game, this is actually going to be really nice and really convenient for progression. So I know some people want me to complain about it. I'm not going to complain about this. Now some great quality of life stuff with language filters and things like that for your friends and your guildmates. You can mark favorite friends, ooh la la, who's going to make my favorite list. It's going to be a very catty time in the realm. We've got a Guild War thing. The season duration is going to be a bit shorter. It's going to go down to 8 weeks. I kind of feel like, wasn't it already like 8 or 9 or 10 weeks? That's not that much shorter. You can see the entire cycle is going to be 8 weeks and like a 1 week calculation cooldown starting with season 5. So it'll be a total of 9 weeks. Then other random stuff. We have to talk about number 1. I told you we're getting the nitty gritty. They are telling us what I've long talked about, these hidden internal rates, rage regen based off of your basic attacks and rage regen based on getting attacked. So if you don't know, we have 2 kinds of rage regen in this game. Rage regen that's scaling with doing attacks and getting attacked, and then rage regen that is automatic passive. So that is your rage regen auto, the ladder there. So you have a number, and whatever that number is, you can improve it with a mana spring set. For example, some heroes have awakenings that improve it. Basically every second, whatever that rage regen auto is, that is how much rage you get. There's another number, and this is what rage regen percentage scales with, and that is based on the hero dealing basic attacks and the hero being attacked. These numbers have been hidden, and that is not cool. I've complained about it for literally ever since I started playing, because it's impossible to know what your rage regen percentage is scaling with. Now they are sharing it in the hero attributes and then details page. For me, this is huge. If you're into like the nerdy, nitty-gritty number stuff, that's very exciting. We're also getting rage indicators on every single specific skill in the description of those hero skills. That's great. New secret achievements, so we're gonna have to make a new master list of that. When we do have that master list done, we'll do a video and it will get featured on my website. Hero sharing feature, that's kind of cool. Preview of BP, it goes on and on, lots of optimization. For me, number 1 and number 2 were the key things here. Let's finish up now with pretty pictures. I don't want this to go on for too long. There are a couple cool things here that were not covered. So what is that going to be? We're getting a skin for Lunaria, which is the weirdest thing in the world. Does it look super duper cool? Kind of like Madame Ceres from Raid, almost feels like a ripoff. Yes, it looks super cool. However, they're giving her this badass skin right before she completely leaves almost every player's roster. Why is that? Well, if I scroll to the bottom, they're also telling us something I've known about for a little while, and I'll have a video very soon. On August the 6th, we are getting a shard summoning event for the new Lord, so everyone will be able to get her. It won't be hard. These epic shard summoning event fusions are not hard. It's going to be Eliza. She is going to be an epic Piercer Lord, and as a hero, she's just better than Lunaria. It's not close. She does piercing damage like you would like a Piercer Lord to do. She hits decently hard. She's got cool awakenings, and she even has invisibility. She's going to be a monumental carry for people in Gear Raid 3, and that's kind of where they key in here. However, for me, like my Lunaria, I need to use her because I don't have a Racha and Yovar for Furious Torrent specifically, and she does nothing there. Eliza will at least do something, and to me, that's exciting. She is going to be a big update for everyone currently using Lunaria because they don't have a Racha or Yovar, and she's going to be a monstrous upgrade for everyone that doesn't have any Piercer Lord at all. She is going to be game changing. That being said, Lunaria is getting a pretty skin. Cool. Void Rift Epilogue, again, like we said, there's going to be amazing rewards highlighted by the Gleaming Meteorites. This is how we can forge some exclusive artifacts. And our beloved Ancient Summoning Crystals, ooh la la, plus 3 new bosses. They're one-time challenges, so that sucks, but they should be really fun. There is a Razak boss, or a Razak stage. They're calling it Blood of Egon. Then there's a deity stage based off Soleil. And then we've got something called Tempest Tyrant. This looks really good. You can see I'll very quickly go through this. Looks like this. We want melee damage or a good single target. Razak was seized by this guy Egon, so I guess we got to save Razak. That's kind of, his very soul was tainted, so maybe he's kind of possessed as well. You're going to want heroes with strong single target DPS. So, you know, someone like a Valeria, Silas, a Luguru, Helga, Salazar, the list goes on, right? You know what? You know who I bet will be good here? Praetus. Just like he's good at everything. Completely game breaking. Now we've got Soleil. Soleil was once ready to ascend. She was on the brink of transcending to the mortal realm. Her path to godhood was disrupted, so now we got to deal with that whole mess. For this, we want more single target DPS. Looks like they're pushing us more towards marksman. Look at that, a shout out for Lucius. Yovar is going to be amazing. Silas, once again, how surprising. So more single target DPS. Seems like we mostly want piercing, but then I'm kind of thrown off by the presence of Hex here because he does magic damage. Maybe Hex is just so OP it doesn't matter. All in all, another single target kind of challenge. Hopefully this one is AoE. We've got the Tempest Tyrant. Kind of hard to see here, but looks kind of funky. The stage, the setup kind of looks like Gear Raid 1, just with the different colors and stuff. Having been a tyrant in the kingdom, he once partook in a gruesome ritual, blah, blah, blah. Time to kill him. We need ground heroes with extremely high single target. All 3 of them need single target. So, and then they're highlighting Ardia, who doesn't do single target, but she's so strong it doesn't matter. She's still stronger than almost every single target in the game. You can see a chaotic team will absolutely wipe. Valderon, Valeria, Ardia. Then you'll get a nightmare thing going, maybe if you've got a Torador or a Wrath, and you throw in a Lust or an Arrogance or an Ares, something like this. Should be pretty cool. We covered all the Gear Dungeon stuff. We covered the Guild Wars stuff. The new season, by the way, if you didn't know, is starting in just 6 days. That's going to be very, very cool. We've got a new Demon Soldier coming, the Frozen Drifter. Actually looks really cool. Again, kind of like an ice elemental, kind of similar to Glacius. And then I talked about Eliza. Very exciting times. They also release date coming soon. So is it with this update? I don't know. 2 epic skins, one for Greed. This looks brilliant. One for Ein. Until they make Ein worth using, I don't see why they keep giving him things like special skins and exclusive artifacts. But that's a story for another day. Who knows? Maybe Watchguard is getting such a huge come up. We are all going to start using Ein. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long video. Remember the link to my Discord to get all that information, to get those free Ancient Summoning Shards to make an Ancient Summoning Crystal. That is available in the description. Also, just go to the Wathcher of Realms official Discord. If you like my stuff, please give it a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, subscribe, share with your mother. I've been Fastidious, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.